Hello, I'd like to welcome you to the annual Yearbook Assembly and Slideshow. I'm Julie Thomas, the Yearbook Advisor. As you probably guessed, our assembly is going to be a little different than in years past. Your yearbook staff has done an excellent job of producing a book that I know you will be proud of while celebrating 60 years of excellence. Ms. April Bacon and Mr. Ed Grissmore have helped me in working with this staff and proofing many pages before going to the publisher. At this time, I would like for the yearbook staff to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Sophie Denisar. I'm a senior and I'm the co-editor-in-chief.
Hi, I'm Grace Faulkner, and I'm the co-editor-in-chief.
Hi, I'm Ellen Adams, and I'm the senior section editor.
Hi, I'm Blakely Harrell, and I'm an editor for Student Life.
I'm Katie Beth Powers, and I'm a Student Life editor.
Hi, I'm Rachel Toon, and I'm the club's editor.
Hi, I'm Dylan Driver, and I'm the sports editor.
Hi, I'm Carly Blackwood, and I'm the classes editor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Cochran, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Abigail Craig, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Langley Faulkner, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Ellie Fitzgibbons, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Emily Hunt, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Hannah Lovett, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Peyton Lovett, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Meese, and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Madeline, and I'm a junior.
Now that you have met the staff, I will turn the rest of the program over to the seniors. They will read the opening, the closing, introduce the author of the senior poem, and the dedication. We will follow up with a yearbook slideshow. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Our excellence as a class began when we arrived at Stratford Academy for our first day of school on August 21st, 2006. We made the most of the school's final year without uniforms, sporting our favorite smock dresses, bows, and white frilly socks. After a warm welcome from our new teachers, Mrs. Pat Castle and Mrs. Pat Herndon, we were introduced to the classmates who would become our friends for the next 14 years. We learned the alphabet, played house, showed off our Halloween costumes, and performed for our family and friends as Indians in our first preschool powwow. With kindergarten came the first trip with our parents to Buckhead uniforms. We looked forward to making Witch's Brew with Mrs. Kay Wansley and showing off our costumes again in the parade. We were finally the big kids of the preschool and couldn't wait to be pilgrims in the powwow. In December, we had Rice Krispie snowball fights with Mrs. Kathy Larson and searched the entire campus for the missing gingerbread man. Soon, we would get to spend recess on the playground across the road.
We arrived for first grade with our clear plastic book bags, eager to see who would be the first to take home Stratford the stuffed eagle. We spent our days doing everything in our power to collect Della dollars and occasionally wrote our IOUs. Mrs. Shannon Gross bribed us with candy rocks on the days leading up to our first holiday program. In second grade, we moved up to the lower school building and cherry pie became our favorite Friday activity. We celebrated the 50th anniversary of Stratford by forming the number 50 on the football field and stood in awe as a helicopter flew overhead to capture an aerial shot. Mrs. Redonda Mann's prominent whistle and the colors on the traffic light in the lunchroom kept our rambunctious class in check all year long. We walked into third grade wearing our Reebok Zigs. We dressed up as Paul Bunyan, Johnny Appleseed, and Pico's Bill on Tall Tales Day and mastered our yoga skills with Mrs. Sarah Walcott throughout the year. At Christmas, we had our first annual gift swap, which began the mini wars over coffee purses and chevron and beret scarves. We were excited to have multiple teachers when we began switching classes in fourth grade. Mrs. Wanda Watson shared her love of Star Wars with us, and we rapped about prepositions with Mrs. Philippa Schaffner. We dressed up as celebrities for the Timeline Project and played Just Dance with Mr. Bill Reynolds. In the spring, we went on our first overnight field trip to the luxurious Tybee Island. We listened to We Are Young by Fun and every Pitbull, Flow Rida, and Black Eyed Peas song as we drove to Savannah for a river cruise and dinner. In fifth grade, we were told that Red, the new Taylor Swift album, stood for Read Every Day, but we still listened to it all the way to Skidway. We raced to the playground and have first pick from Lucy and Liza's cross bracelet business. We watched a fifth grade boys talent show dance that included trampolines, Colby Green's mom, a blacklight number, confetti, and a custom 20-foot sign. After our last lower school field day and end of the year pool party, we are given a tour of the next chapter in our Stratford journey, middle school. Mr. Andrew Miller welcomed us to our first day of 6th grade, and we are introduced to the legendary Mr. Andy Lawson. Language fire Chipzone H and G soon was stuck in our heads for good. We decorated our lockers and went to our first middle school dance, which was a masquerade. During Spirit Week, school was canceled due to the rare snowfall in Macon. In 7th grade, we were sad to see Mr. Miller go, but we were excited to meet the new middle school principal, Miss Sue Appleby. We lined the halls for Stratford's first and only lip dub, which earned a total of 7,000 views. We spent a rainy day at the Atlanta Zoo, where Graham Hefner decided to take a leap of faith and jump into the flamingo habitat. Mrs. Nancy Gordillo encouraged us in our first attempt at starring in foreign films, and we were excited for a second chance at IFF in 8th grade. Finally, we are in 8th grade, and we are the big kids in middle school. We got to sit in the student section for the FPD game, and the two-peat gave us a glimpse of our next 4 years of rivalry. We played at Island Tag at Waseega and Dahlonega, and went to Six Flags after completing our roller coaster projects with Mrs. Melissa Smith. Soon, we'd be roaming the unfamiliar high school halls as freshmen.
We walked into the lunchroom on the first day of high school and looked for the homeroom sign that had our names. We had our freshman retreat at HEPSPA and spent our first few weeks competing for the infamous trophy known as the Frosh Cup. We lost the rigged Powder Puff game to the seniors in the final game and still haven't gotten over it. That same week, we attended our first high school dance in the lunchroom. We dressed in solid white for the FPD game when the 28-0 three-peat resulted in the first fence stampede. We laughed when the boys ate the world's hottest peppers during lunch and got sick on the sidewalk after causing the biggest scene the Stratford lunchroom had ever seen. As we obtained our learner's permit and got our braces off, we realized our peer mentors were right about how quickly freshman year would fly by. Sophomore year began, and we started to believe the most difficult year in high school rumors when we received our first chemistry grades. We got our driver's licenses and slowly began to take over the pit. The eclipse didn't live up to its expectations, and shortly after, most of us fell victim to the Great Stratford Plague. We dressed up as aliens for Powder Puff and made it to the championship, only to be defeated by the juniors. The Eagle Stew jokes lasted for weeks after we beat FPD for the 4th year in a row. We survived Hurricane Irma, and even though we didn't have power, we made the most of the 5-day weekend. It finally snowed in Macon, and we were very resistant to the announcement that classes weren't canceled. Soon, we would be upperclassmen, and we couldn't believe that we were already halfway through high school. Junior year arrived, and we were finally upperclassmen. We had our game faces on for the Powder Puff, and we dressed up as gruesome hunters for our open season theme. We raided Kroger for Monster Energy and got lots of stares, but we were determined to win. Finally, we won Powder Puff, which we would brag about for the remainder of the year. October rolled around, and after we took our last PSAT, it was time for us to face our rivals on their turf. Even though Macon predicted our defeat, we came out on top and beat FPD for the 5th year in a row. The excitement brought on another celebratory fence stampede, which started countless parental disputes over Facebook. FPD's cruel signs went unpunished, and the Stratford cheerleaders were accused of having bolt cutters. But we made peace with our rivals, and both sides of Interstate 475 made amends. When we came back from winter break, we were in denial that our friends in the class ahead of us would be graduating soon, and we were heading towards the beginning of the end. In the spring, we met our lively new headmaster, Mr. Logan Bolds, and our excitement for senior year doubled. We watched as the class of 2019 received their diplomas, and we realized we only had one more year with the smiling faces we had seen every day since 2006.
We kicked off senior year with a back-to-school pool party where we received our senior t-shirts. On August 14th, we drove our overly decorated cars into the senior parking lot, and it finally sunk in that this was our final year at Stratford. We anxiously awaited our senior privileges and tried our best to keep them. The college office helped ease our nerves during our first senior homeroom, and we began the applications that would determine the next 4 years of our lives. Taking a break from applications, we competed in our last Powder Puff Games and claimed our two-peat title. We were thrilled when Kieran McKinnon and Jenny Bell Butler were crowned homecoming king and queen, and we couldn't believe that next year we would be the alumni in the stands. We were excited when SLB announced the return of the annual Stratford Homecoming Dance that gave us nostalgia for freshman year. We watched the freshman and sophomore girls battle for the football tags and suffered a heartbreaking loss to FPD. After a failed attempt at planning 2 senior trips, we booked flights for Jamaica that increased our motivation for the rest of the year. On Halloween, we woke up early and put on our costumes before the senior breakfast at Taylor Swan's house. We hadn't worn our costumes to school since kindergarten. After Thanksgiving break, the pendants began filling up the college office's bulletin board, and we thanked our teachers for the dozens of essays they sent to our potential new homes. We realized the year was flying by when we received the senior project packet and ordered our caps, gowns, and graduation invitations. When basketball season began, we felt like celebrities when we made it in one of Grant Gordon's famous hype videos, and we cheered on the girls' team to the region championship. Our last Sadie Hawkins dance was a success after a great dinner at the Dueling Piano Bar downtown. Valentine's Day was full of candy, wearing pink and red, and the announcement of the Valentine's Sweethearts. Signing Day was full of Eagle pride and support for our classmates getting ready to take their athletic skills to new places. At the end of February, we danced, sang, and supported our seniors at the winter musical Young Frankenstein. Spring sports were gearing up for their first games and matches, and we were excited for the warmer days ahead. In March, we watched as COVID-19 made its way around the world. The closings and cancellations of the Cherry Blossom Festival, the Masters, Coachella, and Disney World filled the news. When Stratford made the decision to send us home, we had a half day to clean out our lockers, set up our Zoom accounts for online school, and meet with our coaches to discuss the remainder of the season. During the next 2 weeks, we tried to maintain our daily routine and avoid thinking about what would happen to the rest of our final semester at Stratford. We got the news that the senior trip had been canceled, and we tried to cope with the fact that Macon wouldn't be taking over St. Simon's Island this year. We sat in quarantine and watched as everything we had looked forward to was taken from us. We reminisced on all the great experiences we shared as a class and tried our best to keep our hopes up. We enjoyed every moment we had left of our senior year before it was finally time to move on to the next chapter of our lives. Now I want to introduce Tomi Sagade, the author of the senior poem.
As it unfolds, the leaders, the pleased, the weepers, the grieved, the blind, we are all shown the podium that is, at all times, and at once veneration, and at once vilification, and always ever the desire to speak, to tell it as it is, to tell ourselves to look it over, to tell and to let it out because we're only getting older. The years came, and now I look back to them with the yearning for what was, in which stream held truth and granted nostalgia a way through. Half of memory is what you saw, half is every other facet that you come to see. 1,000 times over, the challenge was to observe how much we've changed and how closeness was the actuality. It's about looking beyond to where you want to belong and what you want to be. It's best that you alone give account to where you're going. As it unfolds, we the lovers, the haters, the passion, the prayers, the doubters, the hopeless, the realists, the Idlehour, the east side, the as you like it, the unsatisfied. We the country club, the Fort Hill, we the waiters, the janitors, paycheck allowance. We the founded, we the forgotten, the eagles, the wind, the wings, the toppled nest, the future's best. Best you alone decide what sings and what doesn't. But strive to see the world in full and keep the bird's eye open. We won't know to which sun we grow until the shadow starts to cast. As it unfolds, love still overcomes any instituted past.
This year, the yearbook is dedicated to someone who treats each student that walks through their door as their own. They have built a personal relationship with every student they have taught. This teacher is passionate about helping their students understand the content and curriculum, but also encourages thinking outside of the box and forming your own opinion. If you're cold, they lend you a blanket. If you pass them in the hallway, they always give you a smile and a friendly wave. Their positivity is contagious and inspiring. She is referred to as the in-school mom and is always there to motivate or offer advice. She roots for each one of us almost as much as she roots for her alma mater, the University of Alabama. From Harry Potter to The Great Gatsby to her beloved Basset Hounds. She is caring for everything that comes her way, except for the College Board. Last fall, she offered to take in the abandoned homeroom, and she stepped up as the new advisor of the Pep Club. We cannot thank her enough for the love and support she has shown us. The class of 2020 would like to dedicate the yearbook to the English goddess, Mrs. Michelle Fleming.
Thank you. This isn't exactly the Pep Club interview you asked me about. A little unexpected. I don't know what to say, but thank you. You guys are an amazing class, and I love you. So thank you. I wish I was there and could give you guys hugs. So I think my favorite thing is how much I love this class. It's a class of pretty amazing people, and they're kind and they're funny and they're smart and they're loving, and I have enjoyed teaching them incredibly, and for that to come from them is a real honor. Thank you.